What are the chances I just snap this grill and then we have to go in and saw it all out? Welcome guys and girls to Bull and Banjo. My name is Kieran Lovegrove. This is my new channel. A little background about myself. I am a professional baseball player. Played for about 8 years now with the Indians, the Giants, and the Baltimore Orioles.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
So aside from baseball, cars, one of my biggest passions in the world. I can't pinpoint exactly when I got into cars or what caused it. All I remember is growing up talking shop with my dad about what car we'd like to have and what car I owed him when I made it big. And you know, the first memories I can have of really kind of getting into what a car could do or what I thought a car could do was video games. I mean, Need for Speed and Midnight Club and all these games where you could drive these ridiculous cars that as a 10-year-old you couldn't really have, but you had the feeling of it. That really kind of instilled that passion in me for cars. So one of the shows my dad and I watched together, and it was really the longest running series that he and I continually watch, and what was Top Gear and what is now the Grand Tour, was that intersection between realistic expectation of a car where they'd test something normal like a Ford Fiesta or a Volkswagen GTI and comedy. They really didn't make it all about the nuts and bolts of a car. They made it about how a car made you feel and how fun they could be when you put them in a ridiculous situation.
Eventually, he was slowed down by a bridge over the River Kwai. The rally stage had taken its toll on one of the cars. Take a guess which one.
I'm in a car which, as you can probably hear, has got a throttle that's jammed wide open and I can't hold it on the brakes. Hammond, move! You're going to have to go faster and I hit you.
What?
Oh, God!
Thanks, well help yourself to my brakes, why not?
I've lost a skull.
Monkeys.
I'm sorry, I can't... Whoa.
That's something that I kind of want to capture on this channel. You know, I've spent my years and years playing baseball and really have spent all my time devoted to that and haven't had a ton of time to explore some of the other passions in my life. And going through years and years of playing, I've gotten to meet a lot of people who absolutely have some ridiculous car collections. And that's one of the goals moving forward, is to get some of them on the channel, you know, get them to talk about their cars. If we're lucky, maybe, you know, take a test ride or two in one of them. So moving forward on the channel, we're gonna get into a lot of kind of maybe under talked about subjects. One of which being the supercars are just too small. I'm only 6'4", I'm not exceptionally big, but I can maybe fit in 10% of supercars just due to the design. And we actually have a video coming out about me trying to fit in some of the supercars that are out today. We did find one, and I would actually love for people to try and guess what that car was, or is.
Fuck, does anyone fit in this car? There's no way.
The car fit?
No.
Some of the other things we want to do is we do want to get into building our own cars. I don't have a mechanical background. Like I said, I came out of high school at 17. I don't really have a background in anything but throwing a baseball. So I'm horrifically underqualified to build anything. You know, much less take apart a car and try to make it work without killing myself. So, you know, well, if we do get me dying on camera, at least it'll be interesting. There's a few projects I think that are going to be the big ones on the docket. First,
You got a dog. Hey, doggy. Say hi. That's happening. So yeah, this is kind of the row of cars we've got going right now. You know, hopefully when this channel takes off, I really hope it does, because I think we have a lot of fun ideas that we can involve viewers in and that we could really kind of do some interesting builds. I've wanted to do a wide body wagon for a while. We do want to make a hoopty for drifting, just because one of the biggest projects and something that I really want to get viewers involved in is I want to build, like I said, the hoopty for drifting, but I want it to be kind of group project built. A rear wheel drive, 6 or 8 cylinder manual. And the reason I want a manual, and I know this is probably going to be a huge point of contention with everybody, I've never driven manual, don't know how to do it. I rode motorcycles, so I understand the concept, but I've just never had the opportunity to do it in a car. Every car we've had, at least for the last 12 years, has been either automatic or mine DSG or whatever that is, but we've never had a manual. Something I really do want to learn how to do. You know, everyone talks about how it is the real true driving experience. So I think that's something that we're going to get into, and hopefully we can get everybody involved with that. You know, whether it's a old rear-wheel drive BMW or rear-wheel drive Mercedes wagon, whatever the case may be, hopefully we can get everybody involved with that. But for right now, these are our projects. And I hope everyone can kind of get into this with us. All right,
is our 2011 BMW 550, which right now is bone stock aside from a few sticker decals and some plasti dip. It's really not what I think it should be, which is an extremely powerful, extremely loud, very obnoxious, wide-bodied 550, you know, twin turbo V8. Because why not? I think if you have a car with that much power, it shouldn't make you look like you're an accountant driving down the road at 40 miles an hour. You should be an idiot in a wide-body car driving down the road at 40 miles an hour making too much noise. I think that's the goal of this channel, is just to make a bit of noise and kind of go out there and do stupid things with cars. We're going to try and be as responsible as possible, but I don't hold a lot of hope for that. So one of the things that really opened my eyes to what could potentially be was this spring training that I spent with the San Francisco Giants, and just walking through the parking lot every morning. There is maybe something that a lot of everyday people don't understand, is that successful Major League Baseball players live in a different stratosphere than anybody else, you know, that I know personally. I'm sure there are plenty of guys out there with, you know, massive garages full of super and hyper cars, but I don't know them, they're not in my circle of friends. There are, however, baseball players with really incredible collections, and I would love to get a few of them on the channel to talk about them, because I think it would really shed some light on the fact that baseball players have a lot more interest than just baseball. Namely, getting cars that are ridiculously expensive, that to them are just a drop in the bucket. When I walk through a parking lot, there's 2 McLarens and an Aventador and 3 Raptors and a 72 Camaro that's fully rust modded, and they're just sort of littered about, and those are what they consider their daily drivers. It kind of sheds some light on what $30 million a year can do for you. I spent 7 years on a minor league contract, so I don't have that collection. But we do have some fun stuff, and you know, one day I want to build a little sleeper that'll beat all of their supercars in a straight race. That is one of the goals. Moving forward, I think you guys are actually going to see a lot of this studio. Well, I say studio, it's really a bar, but it is in our house. So, bar, studio, whatever you want to call it. This was actually built from scratch, and I think it turned out pretty well, honestly. It hasn't fallen apart yet. Everything still works. We have random pieces of wood just sort of lying around still, which, what are you gonna do? But it's a great gathering place, and it's a really cool spot to sit around and talk shop. I think, you know, moving forward, we're gonna maybe get some just open video podcasts of guys sitting around this bar talking about experiences with cars and baseball and traveling and all the craziness that goes along with the lifestyle of baseball. You know, maybe some tattoo artists, whoever we find who's interested in this project, I want to be involved. And if you do have a passion for it and you want to come down and talk shop with us, let us know. I've stated in one of the other segments, this is a viewer-centric channel. This is really meant for you guys and girls to get into the more ridiculous side of cars, the fun side of cars, into baseball, into tattoos, into music, and anything else we can get going. That's what it's for. So if there's things you guys want to see, if there's things you guys know about car building or video editing, full disclosure, I have zero background in video editing or making YouTube videos. It's probably going to look like a middle school project for a while until I get the hang of editing and putting stuff together and fading and all this sort of stuff that is completely foreign to me. So really, I'm a complete novice in all of this, in car building, in car modding, in video editing, video making. So, hang in there with me. It will, I promise, get better. As the content starts to grow and more people start to come in, hopefully I can find someone else to edit the videos who knows what they're doing. Perfect segue into my inability to make videos. I had a really nice interview with one half of Cespedes Family Barbecue. If you follow baseball, and especially if you follow baseball on Twitter, you've probably seen their tweets. Two friends of mine who I helped at the start of their career, and I was hoping that Jordan could help me at the start of mine. But, yeah. Dumbass. I did not check the mics. I expected our lapel mics to just plug and play with our cameras. They didn't, and at no point did I check the audio levels on any of our cameras. So we have a beautiful 45-minute film of nothing. And we talked about everything. If you guys are interested in hearing Jake and Jordan rant on about baseball, and I know the off-season's coming up, but they're just as funny in the off-season when they start to rant about whatever else is going on in the arbitrary world of sports. I will link below to their Twitter, and they also have a show on DAZN. They're taking off, so good guys to follow, good guys to get to know. As you guys can see, the official Bull and Banjo logo is up in the bar, and more importantly, the official Bull and Banjo merch shop is up and ready to go. So with Christmas right around the corner, maybe not a bad idea to pick up some shirts, some hoodies, some socks, whatever else you can find on there, and give it to your relatives and tell them to subscribe. I'm sure Auntie Linda would love a hoodie and a subscription to this shit show. So I will put a link down below so you can get to the store and make all your purchases and spend all your hard-earned money so that we can do more ridiculous things with our car.
If you are one of those who like and enjoy driving, you owe it to yourself to try this car.
Now this is actually probably the most exciting car we have because we don't have it yet. This is actually going to be the reserve spot for the 2020 Corvette C8, and we went with the Z51 package. We spec'd it out to where it's going to be a really amazing black on black, wheels, tires, everything. It's just going to be a fun car to have. So assuming it all comes in on time, it should be around February. The plan is that that's going to be the ridiculous car that we're going to hopefully turn into an 800 horsepower twin turbo V8. We'll see how that goes whenever they can crack the ECU and all the other things that go along with that. But for right now, it's a big empty spot and our garage is a mess. We should probably get that cleaned.